Howdy y'all, I'm Ice Gold, and today I will be ranking and making a tier list at the same time for the 9 existing member benefits. These benefits, I don't think any of them are inherently bad. You know, like, getting a member benefit just at all is always nice. So, if you do shell out the $10 every month, it is well worth it to get some of these. Although, obviously, some are better than others. And it also, some of them depend on what side activities you do. And the way I'm ranking these is the less interest that I have in a particular side activity, the lower it'll be. Because, you know, when a benefit like my number 9, for example, gets run, it's sort of like a no benefit weekend for me. So, hence the low ranking. So let's go ahead and start with number 9. So taking the very bottom spot is double Monstrology, Animus, that type of thing. And you know, I don't even know what the Monstrology key is. I'm just gonna start hitting buttons on my keyboard. Let me see if I can try to find the Monstrology tone. I swear I've like hit it accidentally before. R-A-V. No, that's fishing. That is how I take my thumbnails. There it is, Monstrology tone. I don't do any of this. Not even on my myth. And I think it's Monstrology, in my honest opinion, it's very niche, and I think the only real use that you can get out of it is if you're doing one of those level 1 playthroughs, like I know a few people have been doing, so you can get yourself some minions, which, you know, would be cool, but for, you know, traditional playstyle like mine, where I don't do that, Animus is just totally useless. I'm also not a house decorator, so having, you know, Monstrology creatures walking around, that's not really something I'm into. So whenever this gets run, it's basically like a no benefit weekend. So and a lot of people feel the same way, and a lot of people, myself included, think that if they're gonna run realistically any of this bottom half, they should also run a top half benefit along with it, so that way it doesn't feel like we're getting cheated out of something or cheated out of a weekend benefit. So yeah, double Animus, it's horrific. There are people who like it, and you know, power to you, but I just do not like it at all. And you know, if you're like a guild master trying to set up a raid, you have to do Monstrology to get like the Zarathax summons or whatever. So it's just it's rough, man. I'm real thankful that they don't run this super often. It's only like once every couple months, so that's falls about in line with you know, 9 benefits, them being 9 weeks apart. I think that's fine. So double Animus, it's bad, very very bad. But I think everyone saw that coming. It's not exactly a hot take to have this at the very bottom of the list. So I will be putting this in F tier without a doubt. But I do understand that some people like Monstrology and think it has its uses, and you know, it can make for interesting content, if you're doing like a level 1 playthrough, that is. So yep, let's move on to number 8. So for 8th place, I'm gonna put double Scroll of Fortune points. Now they only run this once every season, like at the end of, I guess, the time slot for the current season's scroll. So, you know, it's okay, because they don't run it that often, but it does take up a slot at the end of every season. So it's just it's kind of like a nothing burger, especially because you know, you look at the Scroll of Fortune here, and like there's a lot of free rewards that you get, but then a lot of the like good ones, like just 2 mega snacks just totally for free for getting 280 scroll points. It's locked behind. I think you buy this for 7,500 crowns. I could be wrong, but it's not worth. And then you get like spellaments and all that. You get a pack every now and then, but you have to pay for all that. So, and then like there's just cosmetic stuff for for free. So it's just not that great. You get Lunari, I guess, if you do Beast Moon, which I don't. So, but yeah, double scroll points. It's like it's only good necessarily if you have bought the scroll, because 40 Arc 1 spellaments for your school, that's a lot. You have to get 2,000 points for it, but it's totally manageable, especially with double points. But it's just the good rewards are all paid. So, and it's like even up here, tier 9, if you get 2,800 points, you get a random elixir. So, and most of the time it's like a triple animus. So, screw that. But yeah, I mean, on this page it's not so bad because you can get Beast Moon stuff if you do that. Or Ghoul housing item. Never mind, that kind of sucks. But as you go along, you just don't. It's just not as worth. So the 960 points, 5 lore spell limits only. That's kind of crazy, but it's just not that good when they run this benefit, because if you're trying to get scroll points, you gotta buy it. Like 500 Lunari, that's a lot to my knowledge, but 2,000 points and locked behind a paywall, so that's cool. Like even gold keys are behind this, so yeah, just also not a very good benefit. And I'm going to put this in I'll go ahead and put this in the E tier, because it does have its uses. You can get the occasional good reward, but for the most part, you have to pay to get the good rewards, so it's not really much of a benefit. Let's go on to number 7. Coming in 7th, and actually up another tier, is going to be free training point buyback. Now this benefit, it's lower down on the list because if you don't need to buy back your training points, it's another wasted weekend. So yeah, it's not the best, but it is absolutely useful for those who need it. And my Storm is one of the people who absolutely needs it right now while I'm asleep. But yeah, I want to do Storm PvP because I have a new strat in mind, but with all of the dispels and random stuff I bought back in 2020 when I did PvP, I haven't bought those back yet. So doing it for free would be extremely beneficial to me right now. It wouldn't be beneficial to a lot of other people who spent all their training points wisely. So, I mean, like, on my fire, since I didn't do Beeve on this character before, I've got a bunch of spells that are good. I don't need to buy back my points because I have 24 extra. But for, like I said, my Storm, I do. So that is why it is at number 7. I don't really have much else to say on it. It's good for the people who need it, but that's kind of the extent of how good I think it is. So I'm going to be putting this in the D tier. Let's go on to number 6. Coming in 6th, I have the free second chance chest. Now this is... I've got kind of mixed feelings on it. It used to be lower for a variety of reasons, but with recent developments in the community and with the game, I think that it does deserve to be a spot higher. So the free second chance chest, the main thing keeping it down is that you can only use it once before it starts costing you crowns. and it'll be just once per instance. So if I were to, you know, go into the labyrinth back there and beat up Vladimir Darkflame because I wanted like a wand stitch or something, during a free chest weekend, I could hit the chest once before I would have to pay, and there would be no reason not to hit the chest because, you know, it's free, and I wouldn't have to run the whole ass labyrinth again to do that. So it's good in that particular situation. And you know, other fights, like when I was farming Morganth a while back before they gutted the drops, I would just run her once on Friday, once on Saturday, once on Sunday, and then once on technically Monday morning. I was up at demon hours farming just to do that, but it was worth doing because that is a total of 4 free chest hits on one boss across a weekend. So, you know, if you're not having great luck with drops, it can be, you know, a good few extra chances if you really need. But the reason why this has gotten higher than where I would have put it years ago is because the new raid, the Crying Sky raid, has second chance chests not only for Hunhao, but for the 4 priestesses as well, and those 5 chests drop a lot of good loot. But they also upcharge you, like, beyond. Like, I think the first head of the chest is something like 500 crowns instead of 50. So I could be wrong on those values, but having a free chest there, and you know, if you do a raid like 4 times in a weekend, which is a lot of raiding, but screw it, it's useful. I can't even go back here, what the hell. But yeah, if you get your free chest hits, then you know that's good. You won't have to, you'll get an extra hit of the chest, meaning that's one less raid run that you had to do. So I think that's, you know, a step up, getting the best, or not the best, but some of the best endgame gear for free after you complete the raid. I think that's good. And the fact that they added second chance chests to this new raid is really, really good. And like once my guild finally gets ready, I'll definitely be doing that if we raid on a second chance chest weekend. So yep, I'll be putting that also in the D tier just because of, you know, you can only hit it once per day, but still, it's an alright benefit. Let's move on to number 5. So, coming in at the midpoint here is double daily assignment rewards, or I guess it's technically just called daily assignment bonuses, because you don't get everything doubled anymore, or not everything is doubled rather. You still do get quite a bit, like the usual rewards, like the gold and the crowns, those get doubled, which is why it's number 5. And, you know, I think daily assignments are worth doing, so that's why they're up here. However, I was going to put this in, like, C tier, but I realized that the chest rewards that you get on days 5, 10, and 15 don't get doubled. So you don't get 2 hits of the chests, and you don't get the second gold skeleton key if you reach day 15 during a bonus week or weekend, depending on when it gets run, because it's on until Sunday, and I'm recording this on Monday the 16th, so that's honestly why I decided to make this video now, because if they're gonna run it, I figured I might as well talk about it. So but yeah, the fact that you don't get double the gold keys is gonna bring this on down back into the D tier. I don't really have much else to say on it. It is still a good enough benefit to where, you know, I'm putting it in the middle because, you know, it's okay. It's you get extra gold, extra crowns. Like, what's not to love about that? But you still do only get 1 gold key on day 15, so it's just rough. And I wish they would give us 2 gold keys on day 15 if we were to do day 15 during when a bonus is getting run. So could be better, could be worse. D tier. So coming in at number 4 is going to be 0 energy fishing. Now this is also up again because of the new raid, because fishing matters a lot there. But fishing in this game can be very useful. It's a good way to make gold in the early game if you need it. I recommend doing it on your first character just to, you know, get your hands on like a pet hatch a little quicker or like a permanent mount. Just go ahead and use your energy to do that. And it's also nice for if you're trying to make the Darkmoor deck, because the Execushiners, they take their time spawning. And it's also good for the fishing quests. So if you are trying to get to Alejandro de la Paz in Azteca for the buoy chest spell, which is really, really good for getting your code wands from the elephant graveyard, it is absolutely worth doing the quest during 0 energy fishing, because I had to reset the water in the high road at least 50 times for the Avalon quest. So it is not worth doing that Avalon quest outside of 0 energy fishing. So whenever they run it, get it done. I promise you won't regret it. And then obviously the elephant in the room there is code wands. If you like the looks of those, definitely the best time to do it is on 0 energy fishing weekend. So would recommend that, and I am going to put 0 energy fishing in the B tier just because, like, I'm skipping a tier just because there's just nothing worthy of the C tier. I was originally going to put dailies in the C tier, but yeah, the whole no double gold key, that just sucks. So number 4, 0 energy fishing, B tier. Let's go to number 3. So now we've got the definitive best 3 member benefits that currently exist. And third on the list is double reagents. And, you know, no crafting cooldown if you're into that too. So double reagents, that's obviously good if you're farming catacombs. If you want to just like reagent farm just in general, like if I needed extra ore for some reason, I would just come here in Dragonspire Academy. And there you go. I would have 2 ore off of that. And then it's also really, really good for pixel farming. If you're still struggling to get Novus gear and, you know, you need like 67 pixels, which is stupid, but worth if you haven't gotten them. But I would say, because like farming bosses that drop reagents, that'll also double. So Don Manzana, who usually drops 1 to 2 pixels, will drop 2 or 4, which is nice. The only reason why this isn't higher on the list is because it doesn't affect spellements. And spellements, we all know, it's the new alchemical extract. You have to run specific bosses, like key bosses, lower level bosses like here in Dragonspire, so many damn times. Like, it's really stupid, and I wish they would add spellements to this benefit, because, you know, spellements are, after all, reagents. Like if I were to, yeah, like here, Barbarian Saga, I just have 32 Barbarian Saga reagents, but these won't be doubled if it was double reagents right now. So yeah, that's the only reason, that's the only thing holding it down. It's really, 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 really good for everything else. if you need reagents. So it's going to come in third on this tier list, and I will be putting it in the A tier. It could definitely be S if it affected spell limits, though, because the spell limit grind is horrific, and just having a benefit that would double that is really, really good. I would say, you know, add just a double spell limits benefit, but I know damn well that would just take up a slot, so I don't think it would be as great as it would be if spell limits were just tacked onto this. So A tier, number 3, double reagents. Let's move on to number 2. I really doubt anyone's going to be too surprised about this top 2, because they are pretty definitively the best, but coming in second is double gardening rewards. This is obviously because it gives double the mega snacks if you have a couch potato farm, and I have a whole video on that for where you could farm those. But getting 239 golden wheat bread, for example, that can happen in probably, I want to say, like 2 harvests of double, something like that. Probably just 1 if you've got 2 plots. So it's very easy to get extra mega snacks with this benefit, and it's one of the best benefits just to ever be run. And that one, I'm sure no one is surprised about that, because, you know, double gardening, it's so good. And it's like double gardening just means double everything from your plants. Like, that includes reagents. So if you have king parsleys, you can get extra amber. If you have sunions, you can get double the TCs. If you have jewel plants, you get double the jewels. You know, like, it's really, really, really good. So would recommend an elder harvest during this benefit whenever they run it. It's not run super commonly, but it is still good when they do run it. So I'm going to be putting this in the A tier, top of A. And the only reason it's not S is because of what it used to be back in 2020, 2019, whenever they did they first started doing the member benefits. Double gardening used to give you double the seeds back as well upon elder harvest. So what this meant is you could easily have 2 full 69 plots of couch potatoes per, like, inside and outside location on all of your characters very quickly. You could get that real quickly because you know, if you were to harvest 1 69 plot at elder, they would all reseed double because of the benefit, and then you would be able to plant the doubles and then just wait until the next double gardening benefit rolled around and then double them again and then just keep going. But they did nerf that in 2020, I want to say, to where it stopped dropping double seeds. So it's not S tier anymore for obvious reasons, but it is still a very good benefit and easily top 2. And finally, surprising nobody, double pet XP is the number 1 benefit. Pets in this game matter so damn much. I mean, I cannot tell you how many hatches it took to get this, and even then I had to ultra it just to suck a thinking cap. But usually, without double pet XP, you need 80 fancy yogurts to take a pet from baby to mega. I think it's actually more than 80 now because they increased the numbers at, I think, ancient, epic, and mega. So it's, call it 90, just usually, and that's a lot. But with double pet XP, that number goes down to 45. And not only do you save snacks when this happens, but you also save energy. And energy, obviously, very, very finite resource. Energy elixirs are good. People have whole energy gear sets. People make energy pets like the Dapper Corgi. People farm Aphrodite, one of the most annoying bosses in the game for energy gear. So saving on that and being able to make a pet that you want in just a day, like this pet right here, this I think was my first pet that I finished for my PvP characters, but it still took well over a month because I wasn't using Perros or energy elixirs, so I had to make all the bases and then eventually take this one up. Not to mention the pet body was also rather elusive for a second there, but still, double pet XP, easily the best. This is going in S tier, and there was no shadow of a doubt ever as to where this was going to end up. And another great thing about it is that they run it pretty often. This past weekend they ran it, and I didn't exactly get any of the pets I wanted because, you know, I have 0 goddamn crowns. I'm not buying Perros with that. Even my character's asleep at the mention of buying Perros. Definitely the best benefit, and you can do a lot with it. Pet making is already a drag, so this cuts down the time and the cost in half. And I think that's really, really, really important when you're trying to make a pet. So, yep, easy number 1. Well, that's going to wrap up my ranking and tier list here. I don't particularly think any of these are hot takes. I think this is pretty universally agreed upon that, like, double pet, double gardening, double reagents are all at the top, and then like animus, scroll points, and buyback are at the bottom. But I think I just want to say it is really nice of KingsIsle to run these member benefits. It definitely makes buying a membership worth it, in my opinion, so it is very good that they do that. But yeah, thank you all for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, and leave like 50 comments for the algorithm. I'll see you later, y'all.